Hey NSA Nation, welcome back to the NAIL.social Academy. I'm Rachel Jackson, Social Ads Manager at NAIL Communications.
And I'm Jess Bachman, Digital Strategy Director, and this is NSA214, the 8 Rules of Reporting. So, Rachel, I got a joke for you.
Let's hear it.
How many social media managers does it take to change a light bulb?
How many?
I actually don't even know.
Reporting is a requirement. Without reporting, you're just telling jokes without a punchline. Reporting is where the payoff is. Did it work? How much did it work? And why? A solid report will allow you to close the loop on the campaign and act as a springboard to even better results. A deficient report, or even the lack of one, is the best way to ensure that you're totally wasting yours or the client's money. So in this course, we're going to run down the 8 rules of reporting your social media results to a client. And clients, pay attention as well. There's a good chance your agency, vendor, or your own employees are messing this up big time.
The first 2 rules deal with context. Context is everything, and where most mistakes happen. As the person running a campaign, you are the closest to the numbers. You know them inside and out. The client doesn't. Context is the bridge that you will meet them on. Let's get started. Rule number 1. Numbers without context have no meaning. You'll often see the mistake of reporting single large numbers. This month, the campaign got 1.4 million unique reach, 4,831 engagements, and 5.7 million impressions. All these numbers are worthless without context. So let's add some by seeing the percentage change over time or per amount spent. It takes 2 to context, so our reports always have a percentage change for every single number. Here's an actual slide from one of our reports to a client. Every figure shows a percentage change from one month to another. 408,000 unique reach sounds pretty good. An increase of 38% is even better. But the budget increased 74%, so you would think that would push the reach up higher. But an increase in CPM and frequency would account for that shortfall. Combine that with an increase of ad recall lift, and what's happening is that we're reaching less people, but with more impact. That is the story in the numbers, but you need context to tell it.
Rule number 2, use benchmarks to connect to the broader context. Let's say you report a click-through rate of 0.15%. And let's say you also report that it's increased by 28% over the previous month. You know what that is and that it's getting better, but you don't know if it's even good to begin with. This is where benchmarking comes in. What is a good click-through rate for this type of campaign? Or this year? Now, benchmarking itself is fraught with pitfalls, and we could do a whole course on it, but don't let that stop you from trying to get as accurate and up-to-date figures as possible to benchmark against. It will vary wildly depending on many factors, but it will get you in the ballpark. Once you're in the ballpark, start benchmarking against the campaign's past performance or even other clients. We at NAIL make our social benchmarks public, link in the description, so feel free to use those as well.
So you've mastered context and benchmarks. Awesome. Do not stop there. Rule number 3. Report both the noise and the signal. We see a lot of reports that focus mostly on the former, the noise, and it's a huge waste of everyone's time. What do we mean by this? Well, this slide here. This is noise. Noise is the raw and aggregated numbers that every client should have at their disposal. They should have context so the client can get the most out of them, but in an ideal situation, they shouldn't even have to look at this slide. They shouldn't have to look at the noise. That is where the signal comes in. You, the social media manager, the analyst, the person looking at the dashboards and spreadsheets, you are closer to the data than anyone. It's up to your skilled expertise and statistical spidey sense to see all this noise and distill it to what it actually means, in words, so the client can understand it. Do not let the numbers do the talking here. That's just an invitation for the viewer to be disinterested at best and confused at worst. When we report, we actually split a report up into sections called noise and signal. Here is the signal section for a campaign. The view completion rate has dropped significantly for the second month in a row. Combined with a higher frequency, this could be an indication that the content is getting tired among its audience on Facebook. Call it a summary, or insights, or learnings, whatever you like, it needs to be in the report.
The corollary to Rule 3 is Rule 4. From the signal, provide optimizations and recommend actions. This is your job as the agency or social media manager. Don't leave this up to the client. You're the expert. So if the signal is this, then the recommendation is: carefully observe view completion for November. If no additional content is available, it may be worth exploring a new audience or pausing the campaign on Facebook. Attach action items to your reports that the client can just give the okay to. The clients have other jobs. This one is yours. Finally, to close the loop on the noise to signal to recommendation, you need to report on the outcome of the recommendation or optimization. Did it work? Why or why not? By rounding back to the previous change and how it went, you can build trust with the client, and in doing so, enable you to make larger and more interesting changes in the future.
Rule number 5. Caveats, anomalies, and outliers exist. Call them out. Whoever said the numbers don't lie is lying. Numbers fail to tell the truth about 62% of the time. Your job in reporting is to anticipate this and make note of it in the report so you can avoid unnecessary emails about why such and such statistic was 1,489% higher this month. We love our clients. They are great people with big hearts and smart brains, but we never make assumptions about their statistical competency or their numerical literacy.
Rule number 6, and you're not going to like this one. Don't use tools. There are lots of social media analytics suites that will allow you to generate or export a report, often with only one click. Don't report this to your client. They're time-wasting piles of garbage. These platforms are great at standardizing millions of companies' and clients' needs down to a one-click report. You have a particular client with a particular product that needs to be reported in a particular way. Think of your reports as one-of-a-kind, handcrafted documents that you might find on Etsy versus low-cost, low-quality, mass-produced documents you might find at Walmart. Even your metrics should be artisanal. Often, the metrics coming out of the dashboards, like Ads Manager, just don't cut it or are misleading, so we'll often create our own metrics by combining or calculating them ourselves. Every client is different, so you have to know your audience and give them what they want and what they need.
Rule number 7. Most charts suck. Charts are like fireworks. When used expertly by skilled practitioners, they can be incredible displays of information that can really blow the lid off trapped insights or other learnings. But for most people, charts are like bootleg M80s and Chinese-made bottle rockets that in the best cases will distract clients with a 99-cent display of fleeting razzle-dazzle, but often will just blow your damn hand off while starting your neighbor's bushes on fire. Our reports don't have charts. That's right, we've gone a whole year of reporting for a client without using a single chart. That's not to say charts aren't useful. For showing trends or other time-based factors, charts can be great. But more often than not, charts are just colorful deceptions, especially when they're the product of easy-to-use tools. If you think I'm just a hater because a long time ago some pie chart stole the woman I love, let me reassure you, I'm over it. I spent the first 10 years of my career making pretty charts and got really good at it, so I know how dangerous they can be. It's okay to be chart-free.
And lastly, rule number 8, keep it short. It's great that you're a bona fide numbers whiz with a degree in spreadsheet alchemy, and while you know old data analysts don't die, they just get broken down by age and gender, the client probably won't get the joke. Looking at data for them might be heavy lifting, so keep it short and sweet. Most of our reports have no more than 8 metrics being reported on. More than that, and it's hard to know what matters. Facebook Ads Manager has over 375 different metrics you can use. Choose the best ones for the campaign and its objectives and ditch the rest. We talk about metrics in NSA214 and 145. Reporting can seem like an afterthought to many people, but it's essential if you hope to fix a campaign that's broken or capitalize on a campaign that's working. Any questions? Drop them in the comments below and we'll get to them during office hours. Enrolling in the NAIL.social Academy is as easy as hitting that subscribe button. We have new courses coming out every Friday, and you can find the full list in the description below. And if you're still hungry for more, we have tons of resources and reading linked below.